Hey everyone, I'm Lisa and welcome to the Stamp Studio. I want to introduce you to someone real special to me. This is my daughter Gina.
Hello.
And we have nicknamed her Boo since the day she was born because all she did was cry. So Boo Hoo was her nickname. And unfortunately, here we are more than 21 years later and it still has stuck.
Yes.
So tell them what we're doing today.
Today we're starting a new series. It's called Paper Pumpkin with Boo. And we subscribe to Paper Pumpkin every month. And the box comes in the mail and it has everything we need. So the box is self-contained.
Well, you do need scissors.
And you do need scissors.
But everybody has scissors.
Yeah, everyone has scissors. So my mom likes to do it the traditional way.
Yeah, there's beautiful black and white photos. You just follow them and everything's done. Easy for me.
Yeah, but I'm more creative and I like to think outside of the box. So this whole series is about me showing you what I come up with from Paper Pumpkin using all of Paper Pumpkin's products plus some other products outside of Paper Pumpkin from CFNS.
You'll hear me add in just a few things about some of the product names she can't remember.
Yeah.
But you know what's going to be great? You're going to see the traditional way that it's made and you're going to see some really awesome stuff that Boo has come up with. Come on over. Let's go show them what we're going to do.
Let's go.
Come on. So here we are. This is the contents of the Paper Pumpkin for October. The great thing about this kit, as well as all the kits, is they're pre-planned so that you can use them in the month preceding the month you would probably have a holiday in or a special occasion. So this month's kit includes 8 pre-cut and pre-adhered 3M pieces to put together a pie box. So cute. And all the pom-poms are already made. All you do is snip and just attach them. You get the feathers, you get the little strips, you get the glue dots, the ink, and here's another great part. You get this fabulous stamp set. So there's pieces in here that you can use all year round, which makes Paper Pumpkin a spectacular value. So this is basically the project that's included inside the kit this month, and here's a picture of it. So we just moved the pom-pom around. But wait till you see what Boo's done.
We're going to learn how to make this Indian card. So the first thing we're going to need is crumb cake, which is cut
8.5 by 5.5.
8.5 by 5.5. We're going to fold it in half. And to make the crease better, we're going to use a bone folder. These come in the Paper Pumpkin kit. So I took one of these off and I put it at the top, and it's going to hang over a little bit, but that's okay. So we'll go ahead and push it down. And then we're going to get scissors. And we're going to cut off the excess. So I just flip it over to make it easier to see exactly where I'm going. And you trim. Alright, so you're left with this, and if you have a little bit of white showing at the top, don't worry, we're going to cover it up. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to braid the Indian's headpiece, which is just yarn from your Paper Pumpkin kit that's actually used for the pom-pom originally, but I turned into the headpiece. I just used 3 full strands from the kit, and I always think more is better because you can always cut it down to what you need later. At the very end of your 3 strands, you're just going to tie a knot. The closer you get with your knot to the end of the yarn, the better. Alright, now we're going to braid it. I just take a piece of tape and I tape it to any surface so I can easily braid. And this is just a traditional braid, it's not any special braid.
And don't worry, you're not braiding the entire length of this, right, Gina?
No.
So we're just doing part of it.
I finished braiding. And what's important to know is that I didn't braid all of the yarn. I just braided just enough to fit the card. And so at the end of your braid, you're going to tie another knot. So for securing the braid onto our card, I use glue dots. Glue dots come inside of your Paper Pumpkin kit. I just chose to use these smaller ones that Stampin' Up! Sells. So what's important to know is that if your braiding is as bad as mine, it takes me a little bit to get a good start to a braid. So what I do is I tie off the bad end until I get to the good part. So I just make another knot at the very beginning of the braid. And that's going to actually be the start of your headdress. So I put a glue dot at the very edge, and that's where you're going to put the corner of your knot. It's going to be the start of the headdress. and you're gonna snip off the edge. For the rest of the headdress, I just went ahead and put a glue dot every so often to secure it properly. So when you get to the very edge of the card, you're gonna want to put another glue dot against the knot. I took 3 of the feathers that come inside the paper pumpkin kit. I just assembled them using snail adhesive. So you just put a little bit of snail adhesive at the very bottom of your feather, and you just begin layering the 3 feathers. Now, since your headdress is higher than your actual card, you're going to need some dimensionals to make your feathers even with the headdress. So you just take 1 dimensional and you place it right about there. And then your yarn extends past the card, so I just cut the yarn equal to the bottom of the card to complete the headdress. Now we move on to the eyes. I used the 1 3/4 circle punch with very vanilla cardstock, and I punched 2 holes. And then I took the 1-inch circle punch and basic black cardstock and punched out smaller holes for the pupils of the Indian's eyes. Now you could make his eyes whatever way you'd want to. I just made his eyes more centered towards the center of where his nose would be in the original. And I secured his eyes using snail. And his eyes are going to overlap a little bit to give him more of a cartoon character look. And his pupils are going to overlap too. To give him definition in his eyes, you just take a white gel pen and you draw a line with a dot and a line with a dot. Next is the tribal paint on his face, which I used the word window punch and tangerine Tego and night of navy. But you could use any of the colors that Paper Pumpkin uses. So then you're going to apply your window punches to the card, and you just use snail adhesive to do that. And I angled them slightly towards his eyes, and they're going to hang off a little bit from the card, which we can cut off later. I chose to put the lighter color over the darker color because it just gives it definition. Then we're going to go ahead and snip off the excess just like we did with the headdress. And on the inside, we're going to go ahead and use the words that Paper Pumpkin provided. We're going to use the Thankful for You, and I used the Old Olive ink pad to stamp Thankful for You on the inside. And right below the Thankful for You, I stamped Happy Thanksgiving, which is also comes in the Paper Pumpkin kit.
And we should tell you the great thing about Paper Pumpkin is when you subscribe, the very first time you get a clear block that's going to fit all the stamps to all the images and all the Paper Pumpkin kits. So you don't ever have to worry about having the right block. They're all going to fit.
Alright, so that's the finished product. You can tell that his eyes are a little bit different in the one I just made, but that's okay. He probably had too much pumpkin pie or something. So that's the Indian card. I also made these other cards from the Paper Pumpkin kit that I'll go ahead and show you. I made this turkey card. This is completely out of punches, and these are the feathers that we used for the headdress of the Indian. The background stamp is the wood stamp. Hardwood. And I just used some baked brown sugar baker's twine.
Awesome.
And I stamped Thankful for You and Happy Thanksgiving on the inside again. And then another card that I made was this pumpkin pie card. And only thing I used from Paper Pumpkin is the words on at the bottom, which is holiday calories don't count. I made the pumpkin pie out of punches with the whipped cream out of the circle punches and the filling out of Shelly's punch.
That's the pennant builder punch. So you just cut a bunch of little pennant builders and attach them.
Yes.
That's adorable because I like the scallop. It's small. And you could also use the scallop border or the scallop edge punch to do that too. But I like this because it's really small and petite. Looks more like pie crust.
Yep. And then I used yellow ribbon and
Crushed curry.
and I used more of that twine and
Dotted angles.
dotted angles. And then the final thing I made out of the paper pumpkin kit was this pumpkin pie box. That the box is actually in the kit, so you just have to put it together, which is really easy because it's already pre-folded for you. I went ahead and took a 2-inch circle punch, and then I took the Thankful for You that's in the kit and stamped it. I sponged the edges and added the headdress, which is also in the same Indian card with the feathers. And I had a lot of fun making it, so I think there's a lot more that you could still do with the box. I still have more of these and more product to even use to make more cards and come up with more ideas. So Paper Pumpkin's really endless with the opportunities that you can do with it, which is why I really like it, because you don't have to stick to the instructions. But you can as well, so it's really great in general.
Thanks for joining Boo and I. We'll see you next month when the next box comes.